Those who had properties in South Africa, those properties are in the law. Informal squatter camps and informal settlements are never properties because they are illegal in the country. So you are already violating our law if you're going to tell us about a shack in some informal settlement.
To the people of South Africa, we stand in solidarity with you in the Western world. We are all watching the events unfold across the globe. There are planned mass protests every single Thursday for the foreseeable future.
Like it or not, the government of South Africa will have to listen to the people of South Africa and do what we request.
You have given reasons for your actions, but you would also agree with me that your actions have been widely condemned, especially by other African nations. What is your justification?
I don't expect people to be comfortable with having to move away from comforts that they've had for many years and protection that they've had, which was not supposed to be there. Unfortunately, this time, even if the critics are there, even if they call us xenophobic, at the end of the day, immigration laws are there for a reason and they are meant to be respected. And that's exactly what we're advocating for.
Sad news for illegal foreigners in South Africa. There is fresh concern for illegal foreigners living in South Africa as authorities continue to tighten immigration enforcement across different parts of the country. Reports indicate that more inspections, arrests, and deportation processes are taking place as the government increases efforts to deal with undocumented immigration. Officials say the operation is aimed at enforcing the country's immigration laws and improving public safety. However, many affected foreign nationals say they are living in fear, with some leaving their homes to avoid being arrested.
If you own a property in South Africa, it's registered. If it's a house, it's registered with the deeds register, Office of the Deeds Register. If you own a car, it's registered in the INATI system. If you own a business, it's registered with the CIPC. If you're renting offices, they're registered with landlords. But we'll be interested to know where the drug dens of Nigerians are. So they can show us where they've been holding the drugs so that we can clean the drugs in South Africa quite urgently. Those who had properties in South Africa, those properties are in the law. Informal squatter camps and informal settlements are never properties because they are illegal in the country. So you are already violating our law if you're going to tell us about a shack in some informal settlement. That's why we have also, as government, approved the PI, what is the protection of, the one that makes sure that when we evict and remove informal settlements, there's no longer going to be informal settlements built in the areas, including the evictions in the informal settlements, in line with our court judgments. So if there's no compensation that will come from government, those who leave their properties, if they are properly legally registered in the country, they can dispose of the properties in the property market in South Africa, whether it's a movable or immovable property. And we are going to seriously appreciate to be told where are the drug dens. Thank you very much.
To the people of South Africa, we stand in solidarity with you in the Western world. We are all watching the events unfold across the globe. There are planned mass protests every single Thursday for the foreseeable future, in the hope that this shocks their government into realising the illegal immigrant crisis. The people of South Africa have been protesting for months about the illegal immigration crisis, and now a formal civil movement has started to happen across the country. There have been reports of Nigerians illegally issuing passports to try and stay in South Africa, and the people of South Africa are standing up for themselves. The people of South Africa gave the government a deadline of the 30th of June to allow every illegal immigrant to go, and now the movement have taken it upon themselves to force the government's hand. Let me know where you're watching this content from around the world. And as always, check out the Vlog Owen Community YouTube channel and my Vlog Owen official account as well. The world again is watching. See you in the next one.
You have given reasons for your actions, but you would also agree with me that your actions have been widely condemned, especially by other African nations. What is your justification?
I don't expect people to be comfortable with having to move away from comforts that they've had for many years and protection that they've had, which was not supposed to be there. Unfortunately, this time, even if the critics are there, even if they call us xenophobic, at the end of the day, immigration laws are there for a reason and they are meant to be respected. And that's exactly what we're advocating for.
You cite immigration laws, but you are a leader for the group. Why don't you leave that for the authorities in your country to take that on?
Which authorities? The same ones that we are marching to demand them to do their job. Because you have authorities, they're going to enforce the laws of the country. We've got a country that's riddled with corruption from government right through to officials, even to ordinary South Africans. And that's why this has been going on for so long. And that's why we've decided to stand up against it, because our very same authorities are the same people that are enabling these actions to continue and the lack of enforcement of immigration laws, which is why even yesterday when we were marching to different police stations that we know are the ones that are enabling this to continue.
During your protest or your
There's no
establishment of your concerns, have you in any way allowed or seen anyone abuse any foreign national and you looked on?
We do not advocate for abuse of anyone. I continuously say this. There's March and March. There's about hundreds of other organizations in the country that are anti-illegal immigration. And that is the correct term, anti-illegal immigration. While all of that is going on, all of us are trying to work within the confines of the law. However, there are communities that are taking matters into their own hands, and we always strongly condemn that, because when we say go back and fix your country, when we say that, it's because we want South Africa and Africa to function as different countries, as neighbors, and to thrive in each individual African country. We do not wish to have a situation where anyone is harmed or going back to their country in a body bag. That is not what we advocate for.
The foreign nationals you're concerned to leave your country, does that include white people?
We don't care if it's a white or orange or pink or green person. Our fight is about people who are in the country and they're illegal and they're undocumented. Now, the unfortunate part is people have this idea that somehow when we see white people, we run away from them or we're scared of them or whatever. We don't have such a problem here. We confront white people. We confront white people by all means, shapes, and forms. And we don't even sit there and think, oh, this person is white, let me run away from them. We don't have that problem. We are protecting our communities. And where our communities largely have Black people who are migrants, that is why most of the time you will see there are issues with Black migrants. But it's not only them. There are Asians, Pakistanis, and Chinese and Bangladeshis who are also giving us a problem in our communities. And nobody is showing that because, I don't know, maybe it doesn't suit the narrative. I don't know. But those are the people within our communities who are giving us a hard time. It has nothing to do with skin color and everything to do with the fact that people are in the country undocumented.
Would you fault countries who then think that this might be a targeted attack to just blacks? Because I haven't seen any video where a white person has been abused or even asked to go home. Is there an instance where you've asked a white person to leave your country?
This is not about race, but where communities are complaining about the number of people who are in the country legally is obviously Black communities. So this is about people protecting the resources in their communities. I do not blame anyone for any assumptions or ideas that they might have. I think right now we've passed the point of caring what people think about us.
No, but
right
Jacinta, you cannot say that. You cannot say that. You know, we are not in South Africa. We are judging based on the videos we've seen. My question I asked you about you attacking white people is because I personally have not seen any video where a white man has been asked to go home. That is why I'm asking. And I mean, you've made it clear that it's not a racial thing. But I just want to find out from you, from other countries who are not in South Africa, but they are watching your videos.
Let me explain to like I'm explaining it to someone I don't know. In South Africa, there are during apartheid there was something called the Group Areas Act. Now, the Group Areas Act separated black people from white people, from Indian people, from colored people. So in South Africa, communities still live that way. Black communities are still dominated by black communities, white communities are still dominated by white people, etc. Now, what I'm saying to you is that black people are not going to take a taxi to go to Sandton, and then when they get to Sandton, start looking for white people who are in the country illegally. This is what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay.
Black people are in their own communities where they live. And they are saying, in this community, these are our problems, A, B, C, D. And when they identify those problems, they are now dealing with those problems. The problems they have identified is the number of illegal immigrants that are in their communities, just living in shacks, taking over buildings, hijacking buildings, coming in to commit crimes and not being able to be found. They are talking about people who are in their communities using their hospitals, their clinics, etc., etc. They are talking about people in their communities who are now using their schools, etc., etc. So it's not about them not wanting to find white people. We don't have a problem with going to find those white people. If you show us where they are, we don't care.
Let's move on to the immigration situation then, because the voluntary repatriation process of undocumented foreign nationals is continuing in Limpopo, with thousands more expected to be processed in the coming days. Malawian, Mozambican, as well as Zimbabwean nationals are being moved from the Musina showgrounds, where they've been camping for several days, to the Musina Temporary Repatriation Center. Zola Sholwana is there and joins us now with the latest developments. Perhaps you could just share as well just how full it certainly is right now then, Zola, and just how quickly things are actually moving. Good morning.
A very good morning to you and our viewers, Arabile. I can actually confirm that the repatriation process has picked up pace here in Musina, in Limpopo, where we have seen the Inter-Ministerial Committee who visited some of these sites yesterday, and of course Beit Bridge border, confirmed that there's over 37,000 Malawian nationals that have been repatriated, and of course the numbers are subject to change because the buses that you are seeing behind me, Arabile, will be ferrying people from here to their respective countries, as we understand that people that are currently being kept at the Musina Temporary Repatriation Center, Mozambican nationals, Zimbabwean, and of course Malawian nationals, who make up the large number of the people who are gathering here. Let's take a listen at the chair of the Inter-Ministerial Committee confirming the numbers of people that have been repatriated, and of course reaffirming their commitment in ensuring that this process moves at a smooth pace.
The repatriation of Malawian nationals is gathering pace. The Inter-Ministerial Committee on Migration says thousands have already made the journey home.
The number of people that we've repatriated from Malawi, it's 37,000. We also had the Mozambican nationals that were departed from Gauteng to Mozambique. We've got about 400 of them in the Musina area. And then we've got the nationality Zimbabweans who also moved from Cape Town, now in the Musina area that we are processing. So that work continues. As we said, as the IMC, our work didn't start and was not proposed for the 30th, but to look at holistically in responding to the issues of migration, as the President has mandated us.
Relief is finally in sight for thousands of Malawians who have been living in temporary shelter and exposed to the cold.
By last night, we were able to relocate more than 2,000 in the main Malawian nationals from the showgrounds in Musina to this temporal facility, which we have said it's a repatriation processing center.
For others, the trip home is finally starting. The Inter-Ministerial Committee reaffirmed its commitment to coordinating the ongoing operation and addressing any problems which may arise. For Newsroom Africa on Channel 405, I am Zola Sholwana in Musina, Limpopo.
Well, Arabile, let's speak to one of the Malawian nationals who have been moved from the Musina showgrounds where they were complaining about the inhumane conditions that they were subjected to, and they are now finally at the repatriation center waiting to be processed so that they can return home. Sir, thank you very much for your time. How was your first night here compared to where you were?
This night is better than another camp we came from. Yeah, but no. You know, everything is have injuries. Yeah, but now I see everything is good about the place, but the water is two problem because we are a lot of people here. So it's Jojo is little than how many people are here.
Yeah. How long have you been in South Africa, and also what brought you here?
I'm 7 years. I'm here in South Africa. Yeah. So maybe you must repeat that another question.
Yeah. What was your reason for not having the proper documents before coming to South Africa?
Like Malawian, I mean, every country is poor. We know it's the only passport is enough for come here in South Africa. But you know, every government system is changing. That's why maybe we are here in the condition. We need some document.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. So that's how the situation is looking like right now. Arabile, people are about to have breakfast, and the process of profiling every individual that you are seeing here will take place as soon as they've had their breakfast. Buses are ready to transport people to their respective countries. I can tell you that this process is moving at a faster pace than it was initially. So we will, of course, get an update from Home Affairs, as they've also been facilitating this process to find out how many Mozambicans have they recorded so far, Malawians, and of course other nationalities that are part of this huge group of people that are currently being kept at the Musina Repatriation Center. Arabile?
Zola Sholwana, thank you so much for giving us that update out of Limpopo.
Like it or not, the government of South Africa will have to listen to the people of South Africa and do what we request. So, Jacinta Mangobese Zuma, the leader of March and March, has confirmed that starting from now, March and March will be every Thursday. It means that the government every Thursday, they must have another 600 million rand. It means budget for a month should be 2.4 billion rand. Will the government have that money? We don't know. So, but looking at the way March and March today went, it was so successful, guys. And we also appreciate those people who were behaving, because people must not be violent. Let it be a peaceful march. So let's talk in the comment section. Do you think Guti government will have that 2.4 billion rand for every Thursday? And also, she also said, Guti, any political party that did not support this March and March movement, namely ANC, EFF, DA, PA, PAC, VF+, etc., it means, Guti, we are not going to vote for them for November 2026. So let's talk in the comment section. What do we think about this?
Since 6 months, it's all waiting, right? But we might pay and pay. Nithi kulo 6 months njenge-March and March sesimemenzela into entsha sha ezodinga uhulumeni ukuthi uhlale undawo shame 600 million. Guys, from now on, South Africa yonke, for as long bengakahambi.
Of
Officials say at least 20,000 Malawians have left Durban from the drive-in sites in Sherwood Hall and that both sites have now been closed. But while the last few details of relocation were being dealt with at the drive-in site, another camp was opening at Shellcross in Durban. The first group of people arrived a few days ago and is now occupied by Zimbabwean nationals. A number of reasons have been suggested for why they've left their homes.
Basically because they were told that this is a gathering site, but secondly as well, they were intimidated as to where they will live. A simple example, a woman from Nazareth spoke to us yesterday. She came here via an Uber, left all her furniture and whatever belongings, only the bags on her back, to come here. She was told to leave with immediate effect, but they took her furniture literally while she was standing in her own lounge.
Although the crowd might seem small in comparison to Sherwood and the drive-in site, buses are picking up people at a really fast pace. At least 1,500 Zimbabweans have left the site, with 8 buses leaving the area on Thursday.
Monday we only had 3 buses and we had a capacity of over 200 people. Some of them slept overnight, and then on Tuesday a bus came through and took three buses again. And people that never got on that bus slept overnight in the ground.
Compared to Sherwood and the drive-in site, not much assistance has been provided as yet. As a result, those that have been camping here have been sleeping outside with limited water and sanitation facilities.
We've been to Sherwood, we've been to the drive-in, mobilizing the local church and organizations that we're working with. I would say assistance is needed here. People have gone without food for a long time. So we've come in today with what we have and focused a lot on the mothers and the children and also the men as well.
Those on the ground say more assistance is needed.
Right now, we're loading buses now to take them through. So as soon as all of them are gone through, it shouldn't have no assistance. But yesterday we needed food, but it didn't happen. And we need water, which was a problem as well. And there came a chance where we needed Metro and SAPS to come down and stand down to assist. But the CPF in this area, Shellcross CPF, was quite excellent in the work that they did. They helped with the loading of the buses. They helped with everything that was going on.
More buses are expected to arrive on Friday as more Zimbabweans continue to arrive at the site. For Newsroom Africa on Channel 405, I am Siletiwe Ndlovu in Durban.
So, I mean, I can see, as you say, the effects of all of that. Are you looking at any big changes in the law? And I'm talking about trying to discourage people from coming here illegally, so not people who would qualify for any kind of visa. So one option might be, I mean, a difficult option, that if someone is found to be here illegally, they have to serve a jail term before they're actually deported. There are immense problems with that. Are there any other options to discourage people from coming here?
I think that particular question of foreigners within the correctional system is something that sits within the Department of Correctional Services, and I think they can address that in terms of whether they're looking at legal amendments in that space. It's not an immigration requirement. It comes from correctional services. But I think your question more broadly is correct. So we've spoken about enhanced enforcement. We've spoken about systemic reform, but indeed also policy and legislative change. And the main instrument here is the white paper, revised white paper on citizenship, immigration and refugee protection, where we're introducing a number of measures like moving our refugee reception centers to the borders. And we've seen now in the experience with Musina that there are efficiency gains in that process. We are also looking at the first safe country principle, or what in Europe is often called the third safe country principle, meaning that you can't only choose one destination in a particular region if you are seeking refuge or asylum, but that we need a regional approach to sharing the burden that comes with this. We are also in that revised white paper introducing a number of technology reforms and upgrades so that we can firstly have biometric records for everyone who's in the country. I think what South Africans may not often think about, and one of the biggest things we are trying to address, is the fact that we have biometric records in the population register for South African citizens, but because our visa system has been so antiquated and paper-based and manual for so long, we don't have the equivalent biometric, systematic recording of biometrics for every foreigner in the country. And that is something we're working on through the ETA. So we're also introducing things like, in the immigration space, visas, you mentioned, a more competitive environment where, while we, of course, safeguard the right of any refugee who qualifies to be protected, when we look at things like immigration or people seeking to work in South Africa, we're bringing a much more objective, merit-based consideration to that, so that we attract the kind of skills that our economy actually needs. This is being converted now into a bill, and it's going to be it is the single biggest reform in one comprehensive package that our immigration, citizenship, and refugee systems have ever seen. And so that work is also underway. So when you take it all together, enforcement, and the results are speaking for themselves. Systemic reform, people just need to walk into their local bank branch to experience the change. And then the policy and legislative changes that we've gotten through in terms of cabinet approval, and which we will now bring to Parliament as legislation.
Human rights groups have also called on authorities to ensure that everyone is treated fairly and with dignity during these operations. The situation has sparked mixed reactions among South Africans. While some citizens believe the government is finally taking strong action against illegal immigration, others are urging officials to avoid targeting innocent people or violating human rights. As the crackdown continues, many undocumented foreigners are facing an uncertain future. Whether more arrests or deportations will follow remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the pressure on illegal immigrants in South Africa is increasing. What are your thoughts on this situation? Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more updates.